Aloha student.
Aloha!
Alright, so today we're going to learn about adjectives and verbs. But first we're going to learn about culture shock so that we can, use those adjectives and verbs, know how to use them in our own stories. But also we're going to learn how to write a paragraph, a story of our own culture shock. And that is the reason why I want to bring us first to the understanding of culture shock, a definition, and what is really culture shock is. As an international student, I'm pretty sure this is the important topic that we need to be aware of. But we're gonna start with a video, just to grab our understanding. But first, I think it's very important to know the definition of the culture shock, and then we're gonna move on to the video. So can you read it for us?
Yeah. The feelings of disorientation experienced by someone who is suddenly subjected to an unfamiliar culture, way of life, or set of attitudes.
Does anyone have a question? Is that clear? It's pretty clear, straightforward.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no worries, because we're gonna watch a video that will help us, to get a better understanding of it. So it's gonna be talking about different students, their experiences when they enter the United States. It's gonna take like 5 minutes. College student now.
My name is Alexa Regiment.
What is your?
My name is Gavin Barnes. I'm from San Diego, California.
In London, it seems like they've got like Freshers Week and they try to do things to get everybody together. In the States, it's kind of like you're more on your own. I mean, they tell you things that are going on, but at least at my university, you basically were kind of thrown out there and had to decide what you wanted to do, like whether you wanted to go through like sorority and fraternity life. Like that was something you had to decide on your own. I feel like London is better at organizing things for people to do together.
The marking system is really different. So our scale is a 100-point scale, and here you get 70, you're doing really, really well. If you get 70, back in the States, that's like, a D, a C.
Yeah.
And I guess like, getting used to the numbers was a big adjustment.
It's really common in the States to have universities that are, these massive pieces of land, and then you have dormitories that have, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rooms in them. When you come to London, you definitely notice that, and especially, like at the University of Westminster at Harrow, you notice that there's just a lot of student housing. And then you have these things like the Victoria House over by Wembley, where it's kind of student housing that's situated far away from the universities, and it's a mixture of people who go to different universities in the city.
I guess if you eat like the traditional English food and it's really like fried and greasy, that's kind of disgusting.
Well, in Southern California, we're really heavily influenced by Mexican culture, so we have really good Mexican, which is impossible to find here. You just can't find any Mexican. Yeah, that was a bit of something I missed,
One thing I used to try is black pudding, which I guess is made with blood. Not too excited about that. Apparently it's like a Scottish thing.
What did I like?
I like bangers and mash.
Christmas puddings are good.
Kebabs. Good selection of Indian food, definitely. Well, my experience is extremely narrow, but I did date a British girl for a short time, and I noticed that she was a lot more high maintenance
think we're gonna start right
You know,
here.
that kind of
Okay.
thing with her.
You guys get a good picture of it, much better.
Yes.
Well, I have an English boyfriend who I met here, so.
Yeah, I know you don't want to listen to the boyfriend and girlfriend.
Come and hit on me and stuff.
That's the best part.
Okay, so with the culture shock, there are, different stages. The first stage is the honeymoon. Well, I want to make sure that you guys know a little bit about each stage. Because next, after this, you're going to create your own story. You're going to try to use the verbs, adjectives, as much as you can in your paragraph. So the more you know about culture shock, the better your paragraph is gonna, it's gonna be like.
Okay.
So this is the second stage. And this is the last one. Feeling at home. Adaptation and bioculturalism. The new culture is no longer new. Instead, the fortunate country you live in now feels like another home. The aspects of culture that are different from the US no longer affect you in a negative way. You are able to live and work to your full potential. So that's the last stage of culture shock. Moving on, all right? So, adverbs, adjectives and verbs. Adjectives describes the noun. And that's a good example over there. So, can I ask our sister here to read the first example?
There's,
For the adjectives.
Tom wears a blue shirt to school.
So adjectives describes the noun. So which one is the adjective?
Wears?
All right. So Tom wears a blue shirt. What do you think, sister?
Blue.
Blue?
Adjective.
Describe the shirt. Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. That's right. So it's all right, It's good. That's part of learning, So wears is a verb. I think we talked about it at last class.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you make sure you remember the verb is it's an action, and the adjectives it describe the noun, which is in this sentence. It's right here. Blue shirt. Let's move on to the verb. A doing verb or just action. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's very simple, huh? It's very simple. And that's one example. Do you mind reading it?
I go to school by bus.
Go to school by bus. So can you tell us which one is the verb?
Go.
Go. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, that's so smart.
Smart bus.
All right, now we're gonna create our own story. So I want to give you a few 5 minutes. Think about your own story, your own culture shock story, and then you're gonna share to each other. All right. And then from there, we're gonna move on to the next activity. All right. You have 5 minutes. it's about time now. So I'm gonna give you you know your own time. Which one is gonna go first and which one is gonna go last?
Do you want to go first?
You want me to go first?
Oh, up to you.
Okay.
Just a simple story that is gonna be, you know, when you write it, it's gonna make a good one paragraph that contains adjectives and adverb. I mean the verbs. Sorry.
Do you
Will
have?
you show my story?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you want to go first or I can?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay.
Okay, so my story is like this. So when I come to school back at home, I'm from Tonga actually. When I was at home, every time we went to the beach, we wear t-shirt and short. It's either like we wear our own casual clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But in here in Hawaii, when you come and you go to the beach, you see people wearing swimming suit, which we don't used to looking at people wearing swimming suit. It's just because in our culture, we don't call that kind of clothes as a way to show respect to others. It's disrespect to wear such clothes like that shows most of our body. And that's why it's a culture shock, because I was like, what the heck? You know, you're kind of like trying to look away from it, but then because when you're with boys, even if they're not your real brother, or your real sister or whatnot, you just have this feeling of insecure because you don't used to like seeing together with those kind of clothes that they're wearing. So
Yeah.
it's a big culture shock. But after 2 years now, ever since I've been here, I guess I'm getting used to seeing them with wearing those clothes. And it doesn't bother me, but I don't want to be together with my other Tongan boys friends and stuff like that around where we can see people wearing those kind of clothes to the beach. So that's my culture shock.
Cool.
That's a very good story.
Do you want me to share?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am from Hong Kong, and it's kind of a conservation, like conservative culture, because we do not always speak "I love you" to our parents or friends. And when the first time I came to BOI Hawaii, I had a class, and at that class, I met a girl who is my classmate, and she dropped her pen on the floor, and I helped her to pick it up. And she told me, "Oh, I love you, thank you so much." And then at that time I feel like, "What? You love me? But I just helped you to pick a pen." Yeah, and I never knew you before. We just met on that day. So I'm kind of really surprised. And for now, I know it's their culture. Like, people here is more open-minded, more huggy, yeah, something like that. But for my culture, like, I'm from Hong Kong, Chinese won't always hug, and we won't tell "I love you" so openly. So yeah, it's kind of a culture shock for me.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really cool. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I like it.
That's a very great story.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your stories to each other. And now, instead of writing a paragraph, we're gonna draw a picture.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna have you draw your own picture and try to make it simple, or at least you know make it beautiful. Okay. So. Picture.
To describe your story.
I'll describe my culture.
This is the picture of this, you know.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Don't think that that picture doesn't, contribute to what you are learning now. But that picture is gonna take you and always keep you,
Help remember your awesome story.
yeah, your own story, which is gonna help you with your assignment, which is you're gonna write your own paragraph,
Oh,
instead of
homework?
doing it in class. All right.
okay.
Homework, write your own paragraph about your own culture shock, what you already shared, the one you wrote the picture about it. I'll see you next class. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.